The United Kingdom, a land steeped in history. Who better to be the nation's tour guides than Jedward? Today it's the centre of the world, quite literally, Greenwich.
I'm wearing tights, look, check it out.
Who will make a historic hash of it?
Richard, this boat's amazing.
It's a ship, it's a ship.
And who'll be all at sea?
We are located here in London.
That you're pointing to there is Liverpool.
He doesn't even know when London is on the globe.
As the tour guiding twins go head to head, it's Jedward's big adventure.
Kiss me, Hardy.
Not a chance.
There's so much to discover. Crazy adventure. Me and my brother will dig up things and we'll freak you out. Jedward's big adventure. Be a tour guide. There's so much to do. There's a whole planet out there and it's just for you. Never know what you find. It will mess with your mind. Hairbreaker, trailbreaker, totally wild. Amazing Jedward's big adventure.
The world-famous Greenwich in southeast London, a place overflowing with history. You can visit one of the most famous ships in the world or take a stroll through space and time in the planetarium. It's been home to kings, queens and sailors, and for the next 2 days, Jedward!
This is it, Edward. This is Greenwich. Yeah, home to the famous Greenwich. Edward, I hope I don't mean the Greenwich. Ah! John, it's okay. Look, it's our mission. Look, let's see what it says. Welcome to Greenwich, pronounced Greenwich. In just 24 hours time, you'll each be giving a group of tours a guided tour. Look, whoever gives the best tour will be rewarded with a trip across the universe. Wicked. But whoever loses will have to dance a jig wearing nothing but a ladies' nightie with a shower of iced tea. All I can say is, Edward, I don't want to be dancing in a ladies' nightie. We're gonna need some help. If only had two awesome celebrity friends sitting on a bench nearby. Look, it's Shannon Flynn and Stacey Solomon. Guys, get over here. Welcome to Jedward's big adventure. I've got one question to ask you guys before we begin. What do you guys know about Greenwich?
Greenwich?
Yeah, like the Greenwich.
No, that's what we thought it was, but it's actually Greenwich.
Oh.
So we need you guys to help us to go on a tour tomorrow with tourists. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I think you guys should relax, or we'll get the facts. Come on, Eric, let's go ask the experts about Greenwich.
I think we're going to be here a while.
Think you're right there, Shannon. Yes, that's it, boys. Hurry! You've got lots to find out about, and there'll be no jumping ship to get out of this challenge. John will be helped by Stacey, and Edward will be with Shannon. No pressure, Shannon, but Edward needs your help, as so far this series, John is in the lead 2-0. Each team will be given 3 stories which the tourists will be tested on. So the boys had better get their facts straight.
Edward, let's out of here and find out more about Greenwich.
Time to meet the first expert. It's Linda. There she is. Hello, Linda.
Whoa! Amazing! Hey, I'm John. I'm Edward. And together we are Jedward, and we're here to find out what is this place and why there's so many amazing paintings.
This is the painted hall at the Old Royal Naval College. It's the largest painted ceiling in the whole of Europe. Stop, guys. Do you know who Nelson is? Horatio Nelson became famous for being a brilliant leader during the Napoleonic Wars. But on the first day of the famous Battle of Trafalgar in 1805, he was shot and killed. He didn't want to be thrown overboard and buried at sea, so the sailors preserved his body in a cask of brandy to take him home. He was only the second ever commoner to have a state funeral. Thousands flocked as his coffin was taken by barge to St. Paul's. Even though he was a wonderful naval officer, he was frightened of the sea and he was seasick. He was only 5'4", but his friend on board ship was a man called Hardy, and he was 6'4", so they would have been quite strange friends. But when Nelson was dying, he called for his friend and he said, "Kiss me, Hardy." After all, he knew he was dying, he just wanted a hug. Took 3 months to bring him home, and then he was laid out here in his big coffin, and 50,000 people filed past the body.
That's crazy. That's like Wembley Stadium.
Absolutely. The whole country was in mourning for
and
this guy.
And where was he? Was he here?
He was here, exactly where this plaque is, in a beautiful coffin on top of a table.
And people were walking.
They just walked around. They couldn't see his body, of course, because it had been pickled for 3 months.
So they couldn't touch him?
No, they couldn't touch him. It was just his coffin they wanted to walk past.
And show their respects.
And show their respects.
For their hero.
Absolute hero.
So John and Edward are now Nelson experts, or will playing dead be all they remember? Time will tell. But not yet, because they're off to meet their next expert, Steve. Sup, Steve? At the Queen's house.
Whoa! All right, editor, can you find out all we know about this building? Hey, I'm John.
Hi, John.
Is this your
Hi,
house?
Edward.
Who lives
I wish it was.
here? What is this place?
This is the Queen's house. The Queen's house at Greenwich was a gift from King James I to his wife. It was his way of saying sorry, according to the story, for having sworn at her in public when she accidentally shot one of his dogs while hunting. Sadly, she died before it was completed, but the house was still used as she had intended as a venue for lavish parties.
So, back then, what type of parties did they have?
There's one famous one, 1617, that we know about, and I think you'd have liked it. There would have been people dressed up, there would have been Baroque music.
What's Baroque music?
Baroque music
Is broccoli?
No.
Was Baroque music and the rock and roll of its day?
It wasn't the rock and roll of its day, but it was definitely on the cutting edge of the forms of music that were played at that period.
And Steve, what type of dancing were they doing? Were they doing like this type of dancing, this type of dancing, this dancing, this
Oh,
dancing?
dear.
Shuffling. Were they doing
I bet
robot?
Steve's wishing he'd stayed in bed this morning.
Get back in here, Steve.
No, I'm scared now.
Like this.
I'll make it stop, someone, please. Oh, let's just leave him to it. Good, it's over. And time for the next story for tomorrow's tour.
What I want to talk to you about here is King James I. He was the first monarch to have the idea of designing a Union flag. When James VI of Scotland became James I of England, he created Great Britain, so a new flag was needed. It was designed by King James heralds and combined the St. George's Cross of England with St. Andrew's Cross of Scotland. 2 centuries later, it was adapted to include the Irish flag of that time, and from then on became the flag we know today.
He was originally King of Scotland. Then he came all the way from Scotland to England. It was kind of like borrowing a hairdryer.
Not exactly.
But in a way it kind of is because imagine the hairdryers in Scotland and you say, you know what, can I borrow the hairdryer? So then there's like 2 hairdryers, meaning that the hairdryer's broken, and then what do you think?
You've lost me completely.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you, Steve. Not a clue what that was all about.
Hey everyone, it's John Eddard, and right now we're outside this crazy pirate ship.
So the twins now know all about Nelson, the Queen's house, and James I. Next, they need to go and see a man about a ship. There's our ship, and there's our man, Richard. Hurry up, boys! Don't keep Richard waiting, and mind you don't trip!
We're here to find out all we can about this ginormous boat and these awesome cool heads behind her. What are they?
These are all figureheads from merchant ships that have been lost at sea.
Oh, what's a figurehead?
It's literally a figure on the bow of a ship, and it brings good luck.
So what's the name of this boat?
This is the Cutty Sark. It's
Cutty
the most
Sark.
famous sailing ship in the world. Cutty Sark was built in 1869. It's believed the name was chosen as the ship glides in the breeze like a lady's short nightie, or in Scottish, a Cutty Sark. The ambition was for her to be the fastest ship in the annual race to bring tea back from China. She never actually won the race, but she did once complete the journey in a record-breaking 107 days. She's been described as the fastest and greatest sailing ship of her time.
That's a weird name, Cutty Sark. What does that mean?
It's actually a white nightdress, and it was worn by the witch Nanny in the poem Tam O'Shanter by Robbie Burns. It captured the imagination of Jock Willis, the man who built this ship. It looked like the sails blowing in the wind. Why don't we go on board? Come on, guys.
Check it out. Richard, this boat's amazing.
It's a ship! It's a ship!
Let's go in here.
In here!
So this is it.
This is one of the cabins that the apprentices would sleep in.
Wow.
And I'm talking here guys as young as 13, 14. You've got to imagine the waves crashing in here. This was always wet. All your possessions would be in a wooden chest, and you'd sit down at your chest to eat your meal. This is the saloon where the officers would have relaxed at night, had a glass of wine.
This is a big contrast to the other room. The other room was like really small, really cramped. This room's like loads of space, loads of total luxury.
Yeah, this is how the other half lived.
Don't get too used to it, boys. You've got plenty more to investigate.
Stand me, I'm going to the toilet.
Have they listened to Richard, or has it all gone down the pan? Sorry.
I think Cutty Sark's the best ship in the world.
Oh, do you? Right, well, I'm sure the Cutty Sark's very nice, but let's stick to this ship, shall we? The Cutty Sark.
Oh no! Help me! I'm tied up. Let's get out of here.
Come on, time to disembark. You have a big hill to climb if you want to be good tour guides, and here's the next expert to help you on your way. Rob!
What is this line that everyone's queuing up to take photos with?
It's not just a line, it's the line. This line is the line against which the position of everything on Earth is measured, how far east or west of it is. So
What's it called?
it's called the Prime Meridian or the Greenwich Meridian.
Did they get a huge ruler that went all around the world and just did it?
Not quite, it's an imaginary line. The Greenwich Meridian line can claim to be the centre of world time. It divides the eastern and western hemispheres of the Earth, just as the equator divides the north and the south.
Edward, wake up! It's not time to sleep. Ha ha ha.
Greenwich Mean Time is related to universal time, which determines the time everywhere on Earth. It's a standard time. So when it's midday here, midday Greenwich Mean Time, it's midday in international time.
So we're talking about time a lot right now, okay? So what is the actual time? Because I don't have a watch.
Well,
Do you have a watch?
I haven't got a watch on me now.
Why do you have a watch? You're here talking about time, you don't have a
I've
watch.
just got the sun up there.
So if the world's split in half, would this be the middle?
No, that will be the east and that will be the west.
So I'm on the west right now and he's on the east.
Yep.
And where's the north? That way? This way?
That way.
Oh dear. Let's hope the celebrity helpers will have a better sense of direction in tomorrow's tour. Well, they look happy enough anyway. Now for the last stop on the tour, Greenwich's world-famous observatory.
Rob, what is this?
This is called the 28-inch telescope. It weighs 18 tonnes. The Royal Observatory was built for King Charles II in 1675 to improve navigation at sea. And today we're still passionate about studying the universe, and the observatory houses a giant telescope so powerful that some nights you can see the moon, the planets and the stars.
If I went to New York and was eating a hot dog, would you be able to like zoom in here and go, Edward, yo, get me a hot dog?
No, because the Earth is round, so I won't be able to see.
Can you see aliens?
No aliens have yet been
Sure?
seen through the telescope. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Have you ever seen a total eclipse?
I have seen a total
Of the heart?
eclipse, yeah. Not of the heart, no.
No, they haven't built a telescope for that yet, boys, but they are trying.
Really want to win that prize. Yeah, whatever. I want to win this prize.
So that's their fact-finding mission complete. The winner tomorrow will get to go stargazing, but will they remember all of those stories? Or was it in one ear, out the other? Back to Jedward HQ to hook up with their teammates and prepare for tomorrow's tour.
Is this eyebrows or a moustache?
Who knows, Stacey?
knows?
We'll find out tomorrow. I was thinking that the donuts would represent the planets.
Oh, right, okay.
They did this thing called Baroque dancing. Do you know what that is?
Oh yeah, Baroque, the music period.
Can you describe to me what is it rock and roll? Is it
It is
pop?
this. It's
And what's
the
that
lute.
called? So we're gonna
So
use
it's the out of tune lute.
and here's the moon.
Right.
Did you ever think a pizza could be such a good moon?
No.
Stacey, we're gonna use that tomorrow. Okay, we're gonna use the
Okay.
lute. Oh, you're gonna try. Can you wanna play it or I play it?
I don't think I'm qualified to play
You
the
know what?
lute.
I think you're all over it. Okay, you look amazing playing that lute. Okay, so you play the lute. Okay, do you wanna try this on? It'd be really easy to play.
Okay.
So you just kind of like lie there,
Okay, oh.
and maybe like.
Do you know where we are on this globe?
Let's see. Okay, well, let's look at the UK. Here's the United Kingdom, and we are located here in London.
That you're pointing to there is Liverpool. I don't know how I feel about tomorrow, actually. He doesn't seem to know a thing about anything. I mean, I have faith in him. I've known him a long time, and I feel he can do it. But he doesn't even know when London is on the globe. And we've got to teach people about all of these facts. And I'm scared. I don't want to wear a nightie and be covered in iced tea. What am I going to do? Better learn the lute.
You've got 24 hours, Stacey. Good luck with that. Oh dear.
I'm feeling okay about the challenge tomorrow. He's got all the props and stuff and everything looks really cool, but I'm not sure if we know the facts well enough to tell everybody and then for them to get them right. So, but I really, really, really want to win.
You better get a good night's sleep then, Shannon. Night-night. Morning! It's early at Greenwich and both teams are getting ready for the day ahead. Meanwhile, the tourists are on their way and have no idea what's in store.
I think we're gonna learn about something historic, probably. I'm not sure what, because history's big.
I think we'll learn about the Egyptians. I think we're going to learn about the Victorians today.
I want it to be fun and exciting.
I hope the tour guide isn't my mum.
Now we can do better than that, Isaac. Time to surprise some tourists.
What's up, guys?
I kind of screamed because I've never seen like a celebrity in real life before.
Hey, what's going on, Kay?
When I saw John and Edward were our tour guides, I got so excited.
So, we're here to give you guys an amazing, awesome tour of Greenwich. High fives all around. Yes. Are you guys ready for this? Yeah! What do you guys know about Greenwich? Well, as you guys know, me and Ed are twins. Okay, I'm John, he's Ed, and together we are Jedward! So, I'm gonna be one team and he's gonna be one team, and we need our help from our celebrity friends, Edward, Stacey Solomon and Shannon Flynn! Here we go! Awesome.
Walking at a very slow pace.
Walking real slow. Everyone makes noise for Shannon and Stacey.
When I saw Stacey and Shannon, I was like really happy.
Because it's tour on a roll. Come on,
Indeed,
guys.
let's. And first up, it's Edward and Shannon.
I'm gonna be Nelson, you can be Hardy.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we got really cool outfits.
Yeah, they're really good actually.
But come on, I'm wearing tights. Look, check it out.
Yes, Edward, it's very nice, but they won't get you points. Now, how many facts do you remember about Lord Nelson?
I am Lord Horatio Nelson, Commander-in-Chief of the British Navy.
Oh, this is going to be good.
I am Captain Hardy.
Kiss me, Hardy!
Yeah, I thought we weren't going to mention that.
Those are my last words when I was dying.
Dramatic.
Like Trafalgar. Kiss me, Hardy.
Steady.
Yeah, well, it was a sympathy kiss because he was dying.
Right.
Lord Nelson was one of Britain's greatest ever naval heroes.
What? What did she say?
Naval heroes.
Sorry, can I hear that again?
Naval heroes.
Naval Harries? I think she meant heroes.
And he lost the use of his right arm.
Yeah, and his right eye. He lost his right eye.
Other eye!
But he carried on leading the Royal Navy until his greatest victory, which was the Battle of Trafalgar.
She's
It was
good!
a really good day.
But I was dead.
Well, at least we brought you home.
In brandy and pickles.
Yeah, or pickled in brandy.
I now smell.
Yeah, well, you were getting a bit whiffy.
It was pickled.
Yeah, so were we. We were drinking the brandy.
Wrap it up, guys.
That's it. I'm off. Farewell. Adios.
If all else fails, play dead.
Kiss me, Hardy.
Not a chance.
Yeah, it's not kisses he needs, it's points. Watch your feet, kids! Watch your feet!
Don't leave me here. Don't leave me here.
Did Team Edward get the facts across, or will the tourists be lost at sea during the test later on? No, I'm sorry. Next up, it's John and Stacey in some very fetching outfits, and they're at the Queen's house talking about Baroque music.
One of the main Baroque instruments was the lute.
Welcome to the Queen's house. Baroque music isn't like pop music or rock music.
It's more like...
Stacey, my hair's ruined.
But at least you've got the Jedward wig.
It was so crazy how popular Jedward hair was back then.
No, I thought it was original, but actually, it's from the Baroque period. Everyone was doing it.
How do you think the tourists took our tour?
I think they loved it. We danced, we put masks on, we wore wigs, and they learnt something.
What did they learn?
They learnt that... I don't know.
Stacey, you know what? We're the best tour guides ever.
We'll let the tourists be the judge of that, shall we?
I thought it was really funny in there because we had to dress up. My favourite team was John and Stacey because they were really funny.
It's good news for John and Stacey. Let's see if Edward and Shannon can top that with the story of the Union flag.
Let's go up the stairs! James I was the first of England and the 6th of Scotland. So he came all the way down to Scotland, was like, I'm taking this over.
Because it was like under new management, they had to make a new flag. So they combined the English
and the Scottish flag, and they came together,
and then,
making this flag.
Which is the old Union flag.
Do you guys recognize this flag?
Yeah.
Later on, they added the St. Patrick's cross. It's like a huge X, but not for any other TV shows. It's actually just an X for a cross. And then they added it to this one. And here is the Union flag that we know today. As you can see, Wales isn't on it because if it was, there would be a dragon. Roar. Do you guys want to design your own flags right now?
Yeah!
we'll get going.
Here we go then. Flag time. Interesting start. Flowers there. Oh, mind his head.
3, 2, 1. Drop everything.
Put your pens down.
We're gonna pick a winner now, okay? You ready?
Oh, come on, speak up. I love a secret. That doesn't look like a flag. I've seen that one before. Right. Homer Simpson.
And the winner is Planet Jedward.
Of course it is.
Everybody looked like they enjoyed themselves. Got some good flags, didn't we? Hopefully they won't let us down in the test.
We shall see, Shannon. We shall see. Now, all aboard the Cutty Sark. It's time to find out how much John and Stacey remember about it. Oh.
Are you sure?
What's John up to?
Looks so much better.
I don't think that's going to look right.
And where's Stacey?
Perfect. So this ship is one of the most famous ships in the whole entire world. The Cutty Sark used to go all the way from Britain all the way to China, and it was one of the fastest ships back then. It was very, very fast. Does anybody know what a figurehead is? A figurehead can be anything, okay? Anybody can be a figurehead, okay? Even someday I could be a figurehead at the front. I'll go like this.
It's a bit scary.
I made a figurehead.
Oh, that's what they were up to.
You guys don't believe me? No. Well, do you want to see the figurehead I made?
Yes!
Come on, let's go. Let's check it out. Come on, let's go, guys.
Let's go.
Here. These are the amazing figureheads, which are totally awesome. I want you guys to see if you can spot the figurehead which I have made. Look around you. Can you spot it?
Right, come on. Can't
Can you spot it?
Oh, hang on. No, go back. Left. There.
Can I go now?
Yes, you can.
Now? Who thinks Stacey should come back to life? All right, Stacey, get out of here. Come out here.
John has spoken. It's time for the next story from Edward and Shannon, and they're in the observatory talking about the solar system.
There are 8 planets, and you guys have to put them in the right order coming from the sun. And for every planet that's in the right place, you get a point, and the winning team get to eat all the food.
You've got 1 minute. Go.
Remember, Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, Mercury, Earth, Neptune, Uranus, Venus. There's 8 planets. Start with the sun, and they have to be in the right order coming from the sun.
Uranus, Saturn, Mars, Jupiter.
Who's making the right solar system right now? And the girls are doing really, really good. They can't eat the planet, because if someone eats a planet, that means it won't be a full solar system. Like, I would never do that.
You were eating the marshmallows.
I wasn't.
No fibbing, Edward.
3, 2, 1.
All right, stop!
So the order is Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Let's see how many they got right.
Mercury, Mars. This is Earth, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune.
Mercury, Venus, Mars, Earth, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune.
Who did best? Can you guess? Drum roll, please.
The boys.
They all got them a bit muddled up, but the boys were a bit less muddled than the girls. Well done, Team Edward. But will you be stargazing later? Or will you be in for a cold drenching of iced tea? It's close. Let's see whether Team JC can seal the deal with their final tour. But what's this? Yes, it's Easter West, the game show that's sweeping the nation live from Greenwich. Here's Stacey.
Here is the Greenwich Meridian line. Woo!
If I stand on this side, I am on the west. But if I jump over here to my glamorous assistant, I am on the east.
So the aim of the game is to guess which cities are in the east and which are in the west. If you get it wrong, you're out of there. It's time to play East or West. Showtime.
Please, you step onto the Meridian line.
Oh.
Is Las Vegas on the west or the east? The answer is west.
Woo.
All those standing on the east, you are eliminated. Beijing. Ding, 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 ding. It's on the east, you're all correct.
Woo.
Please, where is Dublin in the world?
Mumbai. Berlin.
It's getting very difficult.
5.
Where is Berlin, Stacey?
It's in the east.
We have
got a winner. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Join us next week for... Right, sorry, enough of that. What do the tourists think of today's tour guides?
I really want John and Stacey to win because they're absolutely brilliant as a pair. I think Shannon and Edward did really well on explaining what happened, and it was really good. I learnt a lot. I think the team that did best was John and Stacey.
I do think John and Stacey are going to win it, but I just want to give Edward some support.
Quite right too. He does need your support. He's currently lagging behind John with a grand total of 0 wins so far this series. But is his luck about to change? We're about to find out as it's time for the big test.
Just 2 countries flags made up the Union.
James first
They are being asked 2 questions on each of the stories.
a party house.
For each correct answer, there's a point in it for the team that told that story.
Greenwich mean.
And the team with the most points will win.
Prime Meridian line divide. East-west.
Greg from the planetarium is here with the results. Can Edward redeem himself, or will John continue his winning streak?
So, we've got the results. Edward and Shannon, 45 points.
Yay!
John and Stacey, 63 points.
Yes!
Yeah! Team John have done it again! Bad luck, Edward and Shannon.
Amazing! So, Edward, you're normally drinking iced tea, but now you're going to be drenched in iced tea.
I'm going to perform a jig in a Cutty Sark.
Each and every one of those little dots is a sun, just like our sun. Guess which one this is?
Earth.
It is indeed the Earth, absolutely right.
So cold.
I'm really sorry.
The next one is Venus. Now this has a very thick atmosphere.
Fascinating.
Poisonous gases, temperatures hotter than your oven at home.
Whoa.
And here's the moon. This orbits the Earth, and it's made of rock, just like the Earth.
Come here.
Now we're moving to...
Mars.
Mars, indeed.
Is there aliens on Mars?
There are no aliens on Mars. Now we come to the really big planets.
Jupiter.
Jupiter, indeed, the biggest planet in the solar system.
It's quite pretty.
It is extremely pretty. And then beyond Jupiter, we have Saturn, the ringed planet.
Dog!
I'm really sorry. Okay, wait. So close.
So cold.
It's really there. So close. There we go. Oh, I'm really...
So as we see our Milky Way there, with all those stars and all those planets...
Is Planet Jedward there?
It could be easily.
I don't think I'm ready to go there yet, John. I'm happy with this planet.
I think you're already on Planet Jedward, Stacey.
I hope not.
You'll be on Planet Jedward all day.